G'day YouTube, Shadowx here, just giving you guys a quick heads up on the spoilers in tonight's video. Now, it's nothing major. It is the first mission from campaign, but there are no CGI cutscenes. It's literally just two combat scenarios that'll work together, just so you guys get a feel of some of the new weapons, some of the old weapons, and I hope you guys like it. Well, now that all the boring stuff out of the way, let's just say, guys, Halo 4 is out, and I'm excited. I cannot wait to get into it now. I'm delving into multiplayer soon, but I just really wanted to get that first mission of campaign under my belt, just because you get a little bit of an introduction to sort of the enemies and stuff. So here we're seeing the Covenant again, which is awesome. First off, because elites are just so fun to play against. I mean, Reach brought them back. In Halo 3 they disappeared a little bit. It was mostly brutes and all that sort of jazz. But guys, how good is that assault rifle sound? Like, it feels a lot more like a gun, and that reload speed is just so quick. Now the really cool thing about Halo 4 is that similar to Reach, the Covenant don't speak our language. Either they've developed some sort of new language, or the voice modulator in Chief's armor is not working anymore, or we're not really sure if they're just doing it for storyline, but they're just mumbling around to themselves, and it sounds really cool. It sounds really creepy, like you're actually fighting aliens again. Now, you've seen the assault rifle and the pistol. Assault rifle sounds beefy and it reloads so quick. If you sort of pulse that trigger, you can drop grunts like crazy, and you can do a fair amount of damage to elites as well. And that pistol is just firing off like crazy. It just has a really sort of futuristic sound that I found. It's really good for popping headshots on grunts, as it always has been. You're still getting that zoom that was missing in Halo 2 and all that jazz. It seems quite powerful, but they've sort of dialed it back to make it a lot more balanced. Now, this is the plasma pistol. Now, a lot of people discount the plasma pistol and use it solely for its overcharge. The overcharge is great. It still stops vehicles. It pops shields. It's great for holding the plasma pistol out, giving it a charge, pumping it up, and then popping a headshot. But it is an absolute beast when you just fire it as fast as you can, like a normal pistol. Now, this is the spiritual successor to the plasma rifle, I suppose. It doesn't make headshots. That's why that elite didn't go down straight away after I popped the shields. But it's got a really nice sort of firing to it. It fires like the plasma pistol and I don't know, it almost feels like the plasma rifle and the carbine have been combined. Now, they don't make headshots, but yeah, it sounds really cool. I mean, it shoots like crazy fast. It still overheats like the plasma rifle did, but it feels really accurate. It feels really nice. I'm really starting to like it. I'll probably use that with the pistol. Is really quite a good combo. Now, this is a concussion rifle, and guys, here's the battle rifle. The long-awaited return of the battle rifle, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Now, here, this isn't really a story spoiler or anything. It happens quite early. We know that Cortana has passed her 7 years as an AI, and she's starting to go rampant. So that's going to be a big plot line, I suppose, Halo 4 is going to follow. That's no big secret. 343 has been talking about that for a while. I'm just going to be real quiet for this little bit here, and you guys can hear how the battle rifle sounds. How good is that, guys? Seriously, like, I mean, this is in space, so it's very dull. It's very reminiscent of the first level of Halo 2. Where you were on the ship and it was getting invaded. Very sort of similar, but you don't have that huge anti-gravity. But the cool thing is that when enemies die, they just float. So do their weapons. So if you use a concussion rifle like I've been using to finish people off, their weapons usually will fly away, and you may not be able to grab them. So just a heads up on that one. Battle rifle is doing really, really well. I mean, up close you can give it that twitch, and that 3-round burst will just pop off a headshot. It also drains shields quite quick because it's just that constant berating fire with the battle rifle. It pops headshots like a pro. It's really forgiving. The DMR is a less forgiving weapon because it's more of a marksman weapon at range. The BR is not great at the extreme ranges that the DMR is, but even medium to medium long, it still fares extremely well, and especially against these jackals with these shields, because you get that 3-round recoil burst. that just sort of drags up, and if you just miss the target, it might hit it with the next 2 consecutive shots. Now, I completely missed that grunt down there. I didn't even know he was still alive. I just ran into him, and then I was really confused as to why he pops up a bit later. But the concussion rifle pretty much hasn't changed. It looks, it's obviously taken an aesthetic change, as a lot of the guns have, for the better. It's less red. It seems to be more like a mix between the fuel rod cannon and the concussion rifle from Reach, which is good. I mean, I'm not sure how it's going stats-wise compared to those weapons, but definitely aesthetic. It's a blend of those 2 weapons. Now, this is the Covenant Carbine. This hasn't really changed particularly much. I mean, obviously the aesthetics have changed, but it's still that amazing Covenant weapon that is one of the few Covenant weapons that fires ballistics. So that means that it can pop headshots, and it is quite amazing at doing so, which you guys will see in a little bit. I would really like the Covenant Carbine and any sort of plasma weapon. Even this and the plasma pistol actually hold their own quite well, because the plasma pistol is absolutely great at knocking out shields, even if you don't do the overcharge. You just pulse that thing as fast as you can, and it destroys shields. And the carbine has just got that really nice recoil, really nice speed to its fire, and you can just go pop, 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 and pop headshots all over the map. And it's one of those weapons I'm really glad to see it's come back. It hasn't sort of been shafted in the way the BR and the DMI are back. So they could have just given way from the carbine and just gone with the BR and the DMR, and that would have been enough marksman weapons for people. But I'm really glad they kept the carbine in, because as you can see, it's just a phenomenal weapon. It carries 72 in backup, and it just destroys people. It's a Covenant weapon that can actually be reloaded and does make headshots. So it's probably one of my favorite weapons, I'd say. I mean, it's not something that you'd sort of think of when you think of, oh, what's my favorite weapon? You're like probably a pistol or a DMR or a BR. They're usually the main choices. But then when you're on the battlefield and you pick up a carbine, you're like, wow, this thing's awesome. And the Covenant are using it, so you constantly get reloads for it, which is just amazing. And the assassinations are still in, which I'm really excited about. And you do have sprint now. And it's on A, it's a tap A, and then you can run around, and it's crazy awesome, guys. If you liked the video, as per standard, just give it a like, that would be amazing. If you're new to the video, give it a sub, that'd be amazing. Comment, let me know what you want to see more of. More multiplayer is going to be coming up later. But for now, guys, I've got a little gag reel, as I always do. Messed up in one of the boarding parties. But for now, guys, I'm Shadox, I'm going to sleep, and I will see you guys tomorrow.